On YouTube, it's your boy Zay. Come back at you with another video you dig, and we get right into it. I know how we do. So, this video, I want to talk about how important constant self-evaluation is. Not self-elevation. Constant self-elevation is important as well. But this topic, in my opinion, constant self-evaluation doesn't get talked about enough. Because for you to be able to constantly self-elevate, you have to constantly be able to self-evaluate. Because how are you going to elevate if you're not evaluating yourself and the things that you're doing on a day-to-day basis? So if you're not evaluating yourself on the things you're doing on a day-to-day basis, how can you elevate to that higher self of you if you're not elevating and taking notes and taking, taking account and records of the things you do on a day-to-day basis? The things, shout out to sister, my bad, I just read the things you do on a day-to-day basis, the things you watch on a day-to-day basis, the things you eat on a day-to-day basis, the things you give your attention to on a day-to-day basis. All of these things are part of constantly self-evaluating yourself. And for you to self-elevate yourself, you have to constantly self-evaluate yourself. They go hand in hand. You can't get the one without the other. You can't get the other without the one. They're intertwined. It just makes sense. Because think about it. A person that's trying to elevate themselves or move out of a certain neighborhood or trying to get to a certain place financially or whatever it may be, that a person is trying to grow in life in general. If you're not evaluating yourself on the things you're doing daily, you'll never elevate to that point of life where you're trying to get to. See, a lot of people are so stuck in self-delusion. And they so stuck in that ego to where they never self-evaluate themselves. They evaluate everybody else and everything else around them, but they never self-evaluate themselves. So when people be so confused on how they not doing this or how they not getting to this point in their life, you're not self-evaluating yourself. So how can you even know the things you need to enhance or even work on if you're not evaluating yourself? A lot of people live in a delusional lifestyle because they refuse to evaluate themselves. A lot of people know deep down that they got issues, but because they don't want to evaluate themselves, they like to point the blame on other people because it's easier. They never elevate. So it's like, okay, cool. You want to point the blame on other people? Cool, whatever, do you. But just know you won't achieve the individual that you're trying to become without ever starting with self-evaluation first. Because here's the thing. When you start self-evaluating yourself first, you really don't even, I swear to you, like the day I started really and I've always did this as a young kid, not knowing what it was. It just off habit, just like I always like to grow as an individual, even as a kid. But when you really start to tap in and really start self-evaluating yourself on like even intricate details, I'm not saying be hard on yourself, but going like kind of being very attentive to yourself, very on the intricate details, really fine-tuning certain things. When you start self-evaluating yourself on that level, you really don't even too much care about evaluating other people. You still evaluate people here and there, but you be so focused on evaluating yourself. Like other people just be evaluating other people be an afterthought. Like that be something you do after you fully evaluated yourself. And the only time you evaluate other people is when you're evaluating the people that's in your surroundings. Like I'm not going out evaluating random people on a day-to-day basis. So I'm not scrolling on social media evaluating people I don't know or never really met in life. You feel me? Like, what is that doing for me or my reality, my immediate reality? What is that doing for me? Evaluating somebody else, critiquing what they're doing. Most people who critique other people have more things they need to critique and work on than the person that they're critiquing. Like, that's the thing with people when they talk about celebrities and people that be in the limelight and that be in the media. Everybody has something to say about all these celebrities and these people that's being in the limelight in the media, because their information is out there. Like what they do is public. But majority of the people that talk shit about these people they have more issues and things they need to deal with than the people that they're evaluating, that they're critiquing, that they're always talking crap about. You feel me? So once people start putting up that mirror to their face, a lot of people's lives will change. But a lot of people are scared to do that because that takes accountability. Self-evaluation takes accountability, because once you evaluate these things, right? Say, for instance, you've been watching BS drama TV shows, right? And you evaluate that about yourself. You like, okay, I know I shouldn't be watching that. For you to accept that you shouldn't be watching that because it won't lead you to your goals, that takes accountability. So self-evaluation and accountability goes hand in hand. You feel me? It just, all of these, I just really wish people would just take the time to step back and just look at themselves sometimes. Because a lot of people, in my opinion, a lot of people don't be as dope as an individual as they think they are. Because, and the reason why I say that, because a lot of people who think that live a delusional lifestyle in their head. Now, a person who's constantly self-evaluating themselves and working on themselves and you know, upgrading certain things about themselves, a lot of those people are actually dope individuals because they're self-evaluating themselves. They're taking tabs on the things they're doing. They're taking tabs on the people they're around. They're taking tabs on the things they're watching. Like, they're not watching reality TV shows and trying to become a mechanic or an engineer. No, that individual's actually watching mechanical or engineering videos while trying to pursue becoming a mechanic or engineer. Consuming things that catapults you into the direction that you're trying to head to. A lot of people watch things that are in the complete opposite spectrum, on a complete opposite spectrum to the thing that they're saying they're trying to get to. Like, it just don't make sense. A lot of people do things on a complete opposite spectrum from the things from the position they're trying to get to. Like, a lot of people always talking about financial freedom. They go out every weekend. Damn near, shit, some people every other day or every 2 days go out to the club, spending money on drinks. Spending money just to get in the club. Then you spending money on drinks, spending money on food, spending money on drinks to impress the girl or whatnot. Especially, and I say this, especially in your early 20s, bro, you're going to burn yourself out trying to be the fun guy. I peeped that before I even cared about, I never really was a guy that really cared about being on the scene, because I peeped it from a distance. Even when I was in high school, even in high school, people don't understand, like, it's just levels to it, but it's all the same. Like, even in high school, you kind of got to show your face too much to be that fun guy, to be that guy in high school. And it's just like, it take up too much energy and or you know what I'm saying, of your take up too much energy, take up too much time, when you could be putting that energy and time into something else, something that really leads to something that you can gain on the back end. It leads to fruits being rewarded to you on the back end. But being that fun guy, that shit don't get you nothing on the back end. That's just in the moment, fun time, pleasure. You getting attention from these different ladies. They know your name and all that. But I guarantee you, you stop coming around, they gonna find a new fun guy, bro. So you're not as special as you think you are. So I'm going around the world, but it all ties together to know that if you're that fun guy, you going out, but you say you got all these different goals you want to achieve, you can't be doing self-evaluation checks on yourself, because you would know that, hey, this lifestyle I'm living not really aligning with my goals that I'm saying I got. So am I just pump faking? Am I just talking, saying I want to do these things? Or is this something I really want to do? And if this is something I'm saying I really want to do, why am I not progressively working on trying to do these things? Because it just comes down to a point, you just lying to yourself. You're just lying to yourself to make yourself sound good or feel good. You make yourself feel good through these words, but if you're not really living through the action of these words that you're trying to say, you're trying to catapult yourself to, all that junk really don't matter. It really don't matter, bro. You just blowing smoke. Like Kevin Gates, the nigga just talking. I can't be around the individual who just talk. So a main key that a lot of people are missing in their lives is self-evaluation. Like I said, they can evaluate everybody else's lives. Like, people gossip all day talking about this person. What do you like? I don't, bro. I'm I'm that type of person. Don't bring me no drama, bro. Like, I don't, cause it's like I got things I need to develop within myself. Yeah, I've developed a lot of things, especially, you know, being at the young age and I met, and I have a lot of wisdom, but I still have so far to go. If y'all knew the grand picture, that final version of me I have in my head, yeah, some people think I'm crazy, but I know it's attainable due to not only because I feel it within me, it's part of my purpose, 2, and 3, based off the path that I'm already headed and things that I've already, you know, worked on and did and became. I'm already in alignment with it. You can tell when you're in alignment with certain things. So once you know you're in alignment with something, you got to work 10 times harder to stay in alignment. See, a lot of people don't understand that. Let me go on a little side tangent real quick. Being in alignment ain't just about being in alignment. It's more so about staying in alignment more than it is getting in alignment. It's the same thing with getting on. Like niggas think it's all about, oh, I gotta get on. But somebody who done got on know, like, it ain't even about getting on. Like, it ain't even about getting no buzz. Like, I don't have decent buzz here and there for a good couple years now. So it's not even, and I tell you, it's not even about getting on or getting that buzz. It's about maintaining being on, maintaining that buzz, maintaining that, you know, that relativity to the people around you. So it's not even about the initial alignment phase, the initial getting on. It's about staying in alignment. It's about staying on. It's a difference, because once you get into, it's like you stepped into a new energy field. So once you step into that energy field, you have to constantly do things that match that new energy field that you own. You can't, you see, this is what a lot of niggas think. They think they can step into that new energy field and like, oh, now that I'm in this energy field or this new circumference of living or lifestyle, I can still do the old things because I've made it now. Nah, bro. Nah, it's about longevity. It's about maintaining. It's about maintaining. It ain't about getting to it, because getting to the point, I ain't gonna lie, getting on, that's why you see so many people who get on and fall off, because they don't understand. They think once they got to that point, oh, this is what it is. I'm here now. I done made it. I done arrived. The work just begun once you get to that point. Any real one know, like, the work just begun. Like, for instance, when I started my apparel line, when I started my merch, my first drop, I was doing numbers. But I knew, like, anybody who know when they come out with a apparel line merch, you're gonna get a lot of sales first starting out. And I knew that. It, like, I still enjoyed the moment of, you know, getting all these sales, but I knew, like, because this is a new idea and this is something fresh to people gonna be more receptive to it. People gonna buy it. But 2, 3 years, 4 years, that's when, you know, you gotta focus on maintaining longevity. See, a lot of people, that's why a lot of people don't make it to the forget second year. A lot of people can't make it to that complete first year because they get so caught up in that front end of oh, I got to this certain point. Once you get to that certain point, you have to continue to not only maintain but also gain leverage off of that initial point that you got to. You feel me? So you got to maintain while simultaneously gaining, because here's what people try to do. They try to gain without maintaining, but it's like those go hand in hand. You can't maintain without gaining. You can't gain without maintaining. You did, because if you're trying to gain something, you got to maintain what you already got. And if you maintain it, you got to also try to gain as well, because if you just maintain it without trying to gain, you stay stagnant. So it all comes full circle at the end of the day. But it all comes back down to being self-evaluative. I don't know if that's a word, but y'all get what I'm saying. You dig? I'm my own dictionary. I make up the own words. The English vocabulary is a made up language anyway, so I can make up words. So like I said, when you become more self-evaluatively, you dig, you start noticing these things about yourself that you need to enhance in order for you to even become in alignment with that version you need to become, to get closer to that purpose, to get closer to that purpose, to get closer to that purpose. But if you're not evaluating yourself, you don't know what things you need to do to get to the higher purpose. You're just going through day to day without observing yourself, not observing your actions. Like for instance, when I come into an altercation, and you know, kind of like it don't even have to be a super intense altercation, like a mild altercation on a day to day, like one of those simple altercations, like maybe somebody cut you off, or you know, somebody said something to you funny in the store, like trying to be kind of rude. And you know, after the situation play out, I always think back in my head, like, you know, how did I always evaluate and see how I handled that situation. You know, try to see, I always be real, like, was I in the wrong? I always evaluating to see, like, was I in the wrong? Were there things I could have done better? Was that person being an asshole, or was I bringing internal emotions from past situations present within this current situation? Because the reason why I do this, and the reason why I'm so evaluative about myself, is because I don't have an issue with checking myself. I don't have an issue with checking myself because I know me checking myself is going to lead me to, you know, evolving. But an individual who's not checking themselves, not taking observation on themselves, not taking inventory on their mental, not taking inventory on the things they eat, not taking inventory on the things they've eaten that week, not taking inventory on the activities they participate in, not taking inventory on the conversation that they've encountered or indulged in within the week, not taking daily, even to weekly inventory, to monthly and to yearly inventory on the things you do, eat, think, watch, all that, it's going to be hard for you to grow and evolve, because you don't know what things you're doing right or wrong, because you don't know in general, because you don't have any data to work with yourself. You're a computer, so you need to take catalog and data on the things that you're doing and saying and speaking and eating and writing and talking. You need to take tabs on all of these things, because all of these things you're doing and all those things of all of the above is affecting your reality. You know, all these people talking about control my reality, but if you're not doing self-evaluations, you won't be able to control your reality, because you don't know the things you need to enhance or improve on, or you don't even know the things you're doing good on. You might be doing good on something and you're not even acknowledging yourself doing good on these things, so you just brush it off as just something just as is. But really, you could be celebrating yourself off of that, and you celebrating yourself on something that you're doing good leads you to doing something else positive in your life. But you'll never be able to get to that point of being okay with self-evaluation until you get out that ego. A lot of people like to point the blame at somebody else. It's easy, it's comfortable, it's the easy thing to do. But it's the easy thing to do, to point the blame at somebody else, or talk trash about somebody else or what they not doing in their life. You feel me? Like, anybody who gossip, I really don't even like being around them. You feel me? I mean, if I'm being 100, like, all the women who gossip, I don't, like, me personally, I can't be with the woman who gossip. I can't be with the woman who gossip. Like, yeah, we can talk about current events, I'm not saying that, but if your main source of content, that source of words or content that comes out your mouth is gossip talk, we have nothing in common. Like, we're on two different frequencies. We're on two different frequencies, because there's no way you're on the path to elevation if everything you talk about is gossiping. Because everything that's sitting around what you talk about is a substance of somebody else. It's about somebody else. It's not even about you. It's not even about your immediate reality. It's about somebody else's reality. And it's not even to say it's the true perception of their reality. It's from your perceived lenses, your perceived perspective of their reality. Oh, you think they should be doing it like this, but who's to say how you think they should be doing it or how they should be handling that situation is even the correct way? Just because you think it's the correct way, and that's back to that ego. That's back to that ego. So I'm gonna wrap this video up. All in all, man, this really a banger though. I ain't gonna lie, I'm gonna rewatch this one. I rewatch most of my videos, but I'm gonna definitely rewatch this one because this topic is not talked about enough. People always talk about self-elevation and all this, but how you think you're gonna get to elevate? How you think you're gonna elevate? How you think you're gonna be able to differentiate your past self from your future self, and even your present self? The only way you're able to do that is you have to elevate. I mean, you have to evaluate the things you were doing in your past. You got to compare that to the things you're doing right now. And out of that data that you receive, now you're able to now you need to start calculating the things you want to do in your future to set you apart from your present and your past. So it all comes 360, man. Start doing that self-elevation. Start doing that self-evaluation so you can start self-elevating and become your higher self, man. Peace.